Good morning, everybody. There's the green light. We're ready to rock and roll. Let me go post all of our information all over everywhere. First thing I'm going to do is go post it on our website, and that is denverguitarorchestra.com. From there, you will pick up the daily sheet music, and you will pick up. Why isn't this pasting? What happened here? We'll pick up the sheet music, daily schedule, a complete program from cradle to grave on how to play fingerstyle guitar, which leads to classical guitar, which leads to jazz guitar, which leads to the Beatles, which leads to every single thing that a grown-up would want to play on guitar. And doesn't lead necessarily to some of the other ways of playing guitar, but it does lead to the good way. And today we're going to play, let me make sure I got the link working properly. Thursday, instrumental guitar 260. It's pulling up the wrong cover sheet, but that fixes itself. So we're on lesson 260, and today I'm going to change our playlist. We're going to play Segovia, Brother John, lesson 61, whatever that is, and Torito today. So we're going to ditch Daisy Bell, paste, and that's what we're going to do today. So let me update that. Brother John, lesson 60. Well, all of those we've been working on. To be honest, all of these things, this will be a repeat, except for lesson 61. This will be our first time we tackle lesson 61. And then just a reminder, there's no meeting tonight, but presumably I will be able to send out the 3 new Beatles songs. I've just been really struggling with Strawberry Fields, and I want to make sure it's just a lot harder song than you'd think, and so I just want to make sure I get that thing correct before I put it on out to you guys. Let's see, denverguitarorchestra.com. Okay, now let's put the little image on it, put our logo on it. I think our logo is awesome. Alright, tweet, and there we go. What we're doing these days has almost nothing to do with Denver, or guitar, or orchestra, right? Maybe a little bit. Your list. Alright, let's see. Ukulele Rambler. Okay, good. So Twitter is taken care of. The main page is taken care of, and I can close that one, and here we go. Pauline is in. Good morning, Pauline. Sound and lighting look good. Cloudy with rain expected up in Northern California. That's what we need to have happen up there. Elizabeth, looks sunny outside. The sound is good. Yeah, well, I think it's going to be sort of not warm enough to go for a walk today, but maybe tomorrow and Saturday they were saying you could go outside and just go for a walk. Let's see. Alright, so I think that I should be able to view that page now as a normal thing. And alright, so let's start with Segovia Scales, our one measure of Segovia. It still makes me laugh that this level of detail is what we work on in guitar these days. One measure. We're going to play one measure. Segovia scale. Where's my S's? QRS. There he is. And we call them Segovia Patterns because really once you learn the pattern, you can move it up a fret to get to C sharp, move it up 2 frets to get to D. You can move it back a fret to do B scale. And so the pattern stays the same. Let's see. Monday we did IM, and IR. Yesterday I think we went middle ring, middle ring, middle ring. So today is Thursday. Let's do ring. Index. No, on Monday we did index ring, index ring, index ring. So Tuesday would have been ring. Oh, so Thursday's potpourri. Pick any 2 fingers you like. This finger, this finger, this finger, and we'll play the scale. Okay. So the Segovia pattern measure number 1. I don't know how many notes are on there, but let's give it a try. I'm going to use index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, and then middle, index, middle, index, and then index, ring. Am I missing something? Index, ring, index, ring, ring, index, and then MR, MR. Is there a 4th pattern? There isn't. These two, these two, these two. So Thursday's potpourri. Potpourri. Make it smell nice. Okay. All right. So IR. Tuesdays. So Mondays are IMs. Tuesdays are IRs. Wednesdays are MRs. Thursdays do what you want. And we don't play them on Friday. How about that? All right. So look at there. Just making our educational opportunities live. From the top. Hey Arlo, welcome in. Steady as you can. 1, do IM, do whatever you want going up, and then if you do, for example, IM the first time, second time, then you would do MI. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that right at all, but at least it sounded like a scale. All right, there's your Segovia patterns. We'll be playing those probably for the rest of our lives. So once I get into the University of Metro State University in Denver, Colorado, once I am officially through the audition phase, we may add in the A melodic minor pattern and then later the G major pattern. And there's several others. I can't remember. There's about 4 pages worth of scales that he wrote out, and I'd like to know them all, like to work on them all. All right, so next up, let's go play Brother John. That's our level 1 song. This is a brand new week for everybody. Again, if you are new around here, Brother John, in my mind, is the most important song that I teach, period, and has almost everything you're going to need to know to become a fingerstyle guitarist on this page. And then for those of you guys who've been around a while, you're thinking about ways to making this educational for yourself. You're thinking about, all right, if I'm playing just a straight melody, am I using all my fingers? Am I using my claw position properly? Am I getting the cleanest, prettiest tones every single time? Am I playing chords when Gary's playing melody versus melody when he's playing chords? Am I using tough acts? You know, the one that's written out here is an idea, but it's not the only way to play it, of course. And am I taking the standard notation and am I finding those notes on lower strings higher up the neck is another possible thing you can be doing. I'm going to play the chords, okay? And if you're brand new, you should do the same. You're going to grab an E chord. Remember, 1, 2, 3 strings up, and then on the first fret, middle finger is 5 strings up on the second fret, and ring finger is 4 strings up on the second fret also. Pinky, don't have your pinky doing that, right? That's not what we want. We want this pinky to be curved, all 4 fingers to be curved and pretty, like, you know, like you're holding a tennis ball. And then your thumb, the pad of your thumb is on the back of the neck, right behind wherever your middle finger is. That's pretty important stuff right there. And so if we get that right, you get that, and it sounds beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do 2 times through. If you are been around a while, why don't you play melody? And if you're new, play chords. I'm going to give you a claw position the first time through. I'm going to use these 3 fingers on the bottom 3 strings, and I'm going to put my thumb on the top string to get that E note. Okay. Second time I come through, I'm going to put an arpeggio pattern in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you're looking at it this way, this is actually, watch this hand. It'll be thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. That's the arpeggio pattern for the second time through. 1, 2, ready, play. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, dang, dong, ding, dang, dong. Frere Jacques, Frere Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous. Sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines. Ding, dang, dong, ding, dang, dong. Okay, so really nice. Those of you guys who like to sing, that's how you should probably do everything. Find your chords, pluck your arpeggio pattern, sing over the top of that. Everything sounds great that way. Next, let's play the melody if you're new, and if you have been around a while, now's your chance to play chords up against the melody. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Let's do it one more time. Change your chord pattern. Ready, play. Beautiful. Okay. Finally, if you're new, I don't expect you to play tough acts. If you've been around a while, I definitely think that that's something we should be working on. Let's just do it one time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Terrible job of that. All right, so there's Brother John. Again, if you are new, this is the page. This is, if you master every single thing on this page, and in the next 4 songs in this program, you're going to be able to play fingerstyle. We really are. You're going to be able to play really fine guitar at a level that your friends who have owned guitars and are sitting, they have guitars hanging on their wall in their house because they like guitars, or they have one sitting in the corner that's got some dust on the top of it. You're gonna be able to teach those guys how to play. And I watch on all these Zoom meetings, everybody's got a guitar in the background, and I just think, oh, if everybody was actually playing those, what a happy world we'd have. Let's go grab lesson 61 today. This is the one piece of music we haven't looked at yet this week. And probably the best song of the week, and definitely the one that doesn't necessarily cooperate with fingerstyle play all that well. And of course, they're introducing us to the key of C, right? And to the 3/4 pattern. So you're going to be doing 1, 2. Okay, and it sounds a little like a cartoon, like a cartoon Ferris wheel type song. And so grab your C chord to get started. Definitely will help. And then the first note's a C. The middle C on standard notation, they write middle C as being this note here. Okay. The truth of the matter is, in guitar, when you play that note, it's an octave below middle C in real life. Okay, but we write it on the treble clef. Here's how you will know if the music has been written anytime in the recent era where there's modern software. In order to get the sound file correct, if I put this on a tablet on a standard treble clef, this note will sound an octave too high. And so you see on the treble clef over here next to 3/4, you'll see the little 8 on the bottom of that treble clef. What that does is send the computer a message, hey, I'm going to put this note, I'm going to make it here, but I really need you to have the sound file be an octave lower. So it's an important distinction that guitarists, until computers paid no attention to whatsoever. We do still write on the treble clef. When we play the guitar, it comes out an octave below the treble clef. And when you're working with software, you need to use the treble clef with the octave underneath the treble clef. Otherwise, the sound file will come out too high and it sounds all twinky. We run into that challenge in all of my other in all of my groups where people are writing arrangements. They don't put it on the right clef, and then it sounds real high and weird, and it's hard to get it behind the song. And so, just be mindful as you are. Whether you ever write any music or not isn't important. What it does know, the message that I'm sending you is, when you're looking at standard notation, we write it on the treble clef, but your guitar is sounding an octave below that. And for the most part, that really helps the sound of a guitar. Right? That sound is beautiful. It's not really a middle C, it's the C. 7 notes, 11 notes to the left there. Okay. Now, we grab that C chord. Okay, we're going to hit that C note. And the next two are an E and a G. And when you hold a C chord down, your D string is turned into an E here, and of course your G string is open. So then, just by holding the chord, you have already figured out that first measure. Okay. We're playing classical music. You're almost always going to be in a claw position. You could toss in a chord maybe at the beginning. But that's not what the composer is going for, is it? Is it a he? Yeah, Julio Segreras. And you're going to see this a lot where you pull your ring finger back to get the 2, which is the B note. I'm sorry, and you're only going to hit it once and then put your ring finger back. So it's... And then you're going to lose your ring finger. Isn't that pretty? And we're still on the E's and G's in the main song. And then you're going to go all the way up here. This is a G note up here from your G chord, but we're still holding on to the C shape to allow us to play those E's and G's conveniently. Put your C back where it was. Do the whole thing again. Oh, and then at measure 7, you think it's going to be the same, but it's not. We're now going to slide this finger up, and it's time to lose the index finger, right? So we can just slide this. We can either slide this up, or we could bring our ring finger into play, but you're still going to be using your ring finger for other stuff. So probably makes the most sense to just slide your middle finger up, okay? So when we get to measure 7, you're going to hit the 0. You can hear that bum, bum. Now you're playing a G7. And the only way you know it's a G7 is this note here is an F, which is part of the C G7, GBD F. And then, of course, your ring finger is still playing this 3 up here. Then at measure 9, they get rid of the F. the bass notes here are playing the melody, which is kind of cool, and the treble strings are playing the treble strings are playing just the accompaniment. So let's start from the beginning. We'll go all the way down into. We should be able to ride that pattern out all the way into 14, and then it appears we're going to go into a new pattern at 15. So let's start from the top. Grab your C chord. I'll go real slow. Thumb, pluck these two strings. Slide your ring finger back, pluck those two strings, slide it forward, and then lose it. Top string. On the second string, slide it back, pluck, slide it forward, lose it, and then slide your middle finger forward. Put your ring finger on the top string. Put your plate. Now you're already holding down that 3, so just play it. And then move your index and middle fingers up to the upper strings, strings 3 and 2. Slide your middle finger back. Forward, and then probably grab your 2 with your index finger. It's hanging out doing nothing, so let's use a 2 there, and then a 0. Ring finger, index, open, and then at 15. You're going to go back to your C shape. So let's eliminate the plunks, and let's just play the melody, just the melody, okay, which is in the bass. So grab your ring finger on 3 of the 5th string, and let's play that. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3. So clearly we've got a 16 measure thought there, and if you take out the accompaniment, you get the melody, right? So let's play just the dark tones again. 1, 2, 3. Your melody right there. Cool. We almost never use it in there on the thumb. It's what classical music does it a lot. It's really fun. So then once you have your melody figured out, then all you have to do is obey the accompaniment. Okay, it's mostly 2s and 0s, 0s and 0s, and 3s and 0s, right? At 15 and 16 we go even higher. So let's grab your C chord. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3. So probably, as I'm looking through this, holding the chord shapes helps you out to get started, but after that, not necessarily, right? So you might just abandon the chord shapes on this particular song. Usually it helps a ton, but on this song, It helps you to get started, but not necessarily. So let's play 1 through 16 again, and let me see if my hand is just giving up on the chords as well. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Let me get on the right strings. Go. So that's what we're dealing with. I think you can be a little creative as to which is the best fingering choices. Make your choices. Make yourself a note. Use this finger on this particular string. But I'm not feeling a huge need to put on the full chord shape, other than right at the beginning, right? And that helps me get started. One last time through. Let's make sure we got this part, and then we'll see what happens from 17 to 32. 1, 2, 3. So the place that I'm going to have to make sure to drop my thumb is at measure 9. I for sure need to make sure to drop thumb one string. Yeah, so alright, if I can remember that, everything else is duck soup. Alright, measure 17. Let's go back. Looks like we're going to start the idea over again, probably. That's typical in classical music. Let's put the C chord back on at 17. Let's see how far we get before something caves in on us. Go. 3, strum, 2, pluck, 3, oh, pluck, pluck, 3, pluck, pluck, oh. Now here's where things change. Now we go to an A7. I'm going to grab the A7 because I'll bet it's going to be helpful. Oh, pluck, pluck, 2, pluck, oh. So all that is A7. That makes sense. And then it's going to go to a D minor, but my 3 here isn't a part of that. That's going to be on the 4th string. So this F sharp, F not sharp, F natural. Alright, so grabbing the chord is not going to work there unless I use this shape. Are those chords helpful? I don't know if they're helpful. Let's go back to 23. This is where it gets to be a mess. Alright, grab the D minor shape, but put your ring finger at the 3rd fret, 4th string. Try that. Finger off, open, and then they want a 2 and a 3, so we're going to do these F and A notes here. I don't think grabbing the chord at that F is going to be helpful at all because you've got an open A. Moving this 2 up. And Yeah, so I think don't grab the full F chord. That doesn't make any sense there. That's going to take a lot more work. And you still have to not put it on completely. So probably even a partial F doesn't necessarily solve that problem, because you're going to have to move something up to get this 2 on the 5th string. Well, maybe a partial F. Maybe your B flat shape from ukulele. You guys know that one. At measure 20. So we go back to 23. This does make sense, making the D minor shape but putting a ring on there and then the pink there. So that's going to make sense. So ring, and then taking your ring finger off, and then don't put your F chord on, just to hit this open A and move these 2 fingers up to what? No, leave them where they are. F and A, F and A, right? Yeah. Okay, so that fits in better with the D minor shape than the F, honestly. So this D minor shape you're grabbing at 23, it's going to be finger, then drop to the next string and put your ring finger back, middle finger up to the 5th string. You already have that middle finger, you already have the 3rd string open, and then you can crawl right back into your C shape. Pinky on 3, 2, 3, or O. Okay, so we got quite a bit of work to do here. Measure 23. I can tell where I'm obsessing. Measure 23, this D minor. But you've got to have the ring on the 4th string, 3rd fret. Then it'll work. Okay? So we've got this shape, D minor shape, with your pinky, and then your ring up on 4. All right, now, 3, that's your F note, and then A and D here. That's how to get the D minor. Lose the ring finger. You have 24. Grab the open string. Middle and ring up to the... No, you're not. You're just going to put the ring finger back down. I think putting that middle finger up makes the most sense. So let's do the middle finger 26. I think raising your middle finger there is going to make the most sense. I'm going to go back to 23, D minor, ring finger up high, 3, D minor, no ring, open, put your ring finger back, finger on the 2, the middle finger has to be the 2, and that opens up everything else, so that's the least amount of motion possible. Ring finger on the 3, put your middle finger back, so ring finger on this 3, drop your middle finger to the 2, that puts you back in your C shape. And then the 2 you already hold down, so that at 28 you can just add your rest of your C chord. And then drop your ring finger to that 3. Ring finger here on 29. Open. You already got your middle finger on the 2. It's already there. Take it off. Middle finger on the 2. And then you're going to put your ring finger on 3. That feels more like a G, doesn't it? And then, okay, so middle. So middle is going to be also here. I think I got it. Let's go with, start your measure 23 again. D minor shape, but use your pinky here and your ring up there. Okay, let's give it a try from 23. Play the 3. Pinky on the 2nd string. Go. Lose your ring finger. Open. Put your ring finger back. Middle finger on the 2. 3 and 0 are already open. Ring. Middle finger on 2. Ring down. Middle. Middle. Ring. C chord. Sure you hit the right strings. All right, I think I'm ready for it. Let's see what we do. Okay, top to bottom, do the best you can. Figuring out my fingering choices there at the bottom gets pretty intense. Let's see what happens. From the top, C chord, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Pretty song. That last line 26 through 30 is pretty intense, so I would say go through and double check whether your fingering makes sense. I think pretty much if it's a 2, my middle finger's on it, and if it's a 3, my ring finger's on it pretty much throughout that, which makes sense, right? It's not a high level piece, so you'd want to teach good positional playing there. I think that will probably work. So lesson 61, got a little bit of work to do on that. On Friday we'll play it again, and so spend a little bit of time just figuring out your fingering. I would say if it's me, I've got this thing handled up and through measure 23 through 30, and then that's where I got to put a lot of thoughtfulness into which fingers I'm going to use there. But it's a pretty tune, right? I like it. Let's play Torito real quick. That's the one that we were working on at the end of yesterday, and I'd like to just revisit it. I ended up squabbling with it just a little bit, and let's just run through it again, refresh our memories, make sure things are going. We talked about dynamics yesterday, starting off quiet, getting louder, coming back down. I think that's definitely something to be focusing in on this piece, and let's just see how it plays. From the top, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm sorry, let me start again. Gosh, I can't believe that. 1, 2, ready, play. E minor, where are you? Here you are. Isn't that a pretty ending? The whole song itself is whatever, but that ending is dynamite. All right, bum, blum. It sounds really cool. All right, so hopefully that made some sense after yesterday's long discussion. And then I'm going to spend a little bit of time on lesson 61 trying to get making sure my fingering is what I think it should be. You do your fingering as well, and then we will sit down. We'll have a what do they call that? A meeting of the minds, where we all come together and agree on the best fingering choices. There we go. There's classical music is hurting my head. Hopefully it's hurting your head a little bit, giving you a different way to think about fingerstyle guitar, bringing in those useful tools that we have, grabbing chord shapes and seeing how many notes you are, and sometimes finding out that, you know what, that's not really going to be helpful with just picking your fingers. That D minor chord with your pinky and ring here, like, what the heck is that, right? Some sort of messed up D minor chord is what that is. It's not an F chord for sure. So, all right, guys, that's all I know about guitar. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully I gave you something to mess around with today. Tonight, there is no meeting tonight, but if I can... If Strawberry Fields will start to behave, I will then put all three of those up on the email for you. Most of you guys have sent me an email that you want the 3 new Beatles songs, and if you haven't, send me an email so I can send those to you. And if you've already sent it to me, I still have it, so don't worry about sending it to me a second time. And so I'm hoping to get those 2 guys this afternoon. Like I say, the other 2 have been playing just fine. But Strawberry Fields and I are in a battle, and I'm going to win. So there you go. I'm trying my fingers in. I'm tying my fingers in knots in lesson 61. Thanks, Harry. Fun learning new things. Yeah, I am too. Right? You could tell. I'm just like, what in the heck is going on here? So, starting with the chord shapes, and then realizing at some point you may say, you know what, the chord shape isn't helpful to hear, and that's that's very typical in classical music. We'll start with this chord shape, this chord shape. Most of the time it works out great, but not always, and certainly because in classical music they bring in tons and tons of atonal notes, and those are not going to be sitting right under your chord fingers, because obviously we hold chords because they all work together. And in classical music they like to mess around with atonal sounds, to create tension to be resolved, and so sometimes the chord shapes are just not going to be helpful. So, all right, guys, hopefully that's interesting on some level. And I know all of us are like, ow, my head hurt. So that's good. That's why we're here, right? Is to make our heads hurt and get our fingers stronger. I pulled out my dad's metal stringed D28 yesterday. I was playing for a while, and now my fingers are all messed up from those metal strings. So kind of fun to do something different once in a while. All right, guys, have a lovely afternoon, and I'll see some of you in harmonica or ukulele, and then the rest of you guys I will see tomorrow morning, and we'll just play through the week's list and see how we're doing on everything. These songs are not going anywhere anytime soon, so put a little effort into them if you can, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm going to pull the plug on the stream, and it's always super, super, super slow these days, so I don't know where this cuts off, but there we go. Have a wonderful afternoon.